You young people will be fucked because right now the country it's not a sustainable direction that we're going in.
If you were the next president,
I will not be. I promise.
Okay,
you.
but if you were, what would you recommend? What would you put into place to get us back on track or to help the economy?
I think that economically Trump has fucking nailed it. He's nailed it. So there's not much I would do different. He's nailed it, and I agree with all the stuff, even with the tariffs, because it's just a game of chicken with him. It's not going to be long-term trade. It's going to be short-term to reset trade deals that should never been in the play. Our trade deals are so fucking bad. It's just like it's ridiculous, right? That being said, so I agree with, but the thing that I would do differently though is the way it's being communicated. Okay, is that Trump he creates a visceral hatred among people, and that's just not productive. No, it makes it because we need. Imagine if we had a leader like Trump who could get the economy going, but everyone loved him.
Incredible.
That would be.
It's not his fiscal policy.
You can't argue
his communication.
Right. So, exactly. So if you could find the that would be amazing. So I wouldn't change much fiscally, but I would certainly I'm about as liberal as you get when it comes to things like gay. I don't care who you.
What about abortion? What about abortion?
Listen, here's the deal. Obviously I believe women should have the right to get abortions. Okay. I'm not pro-life. Okay. But I also believe that up to a certain point though, like past 6 months for me. It's very emotional. And here's the thing though, I don't think the government has the right to invade anyone's life. I'm a libertarian at heart. I don't believe the government should tell anyone what to do. But if you're gonna have some rule there, to me, it's 6 months. That's a fucking person. That gets a little dicey unless it's gonna harm the mother. But before that, I think women should have the choice to do what they do. It's my opinion. And I understand it, and I totally understand and respect the pro-lifers. I get it. It's a very emotional thing. They have a different belief than I do about and I respect that. And I wouldn't even say that I'm right in my opinion. That's just my opinion. I don't know if there's a right or wrong.
So you saw the abortion ban in Alabama, yeah?
I did. Yeah, heartbeat law. Yeah.
And you have thoughts on it?
It is what it is. Listen, so you go to the next state and get a fucking abortion. It's not the end of the world. Here's the problem. So the problem with abortion, I believe that the government should not have a word to say about abortions. They really shouldn't. But they shouldn't give fucking money. They fund the clinics. That's the point.
Right.
That's the difference. So I think the government should step away entirely, not fund clinics and give women the right to do what they want to do. And then it should be regulated on a state-by-state basis. I think the federal government's bloated. It's a massive bureaucracy. It was never intended to be that way. Most rights in the Constitution, the founders, the framers wanted to be reserved for the states. It should be regulated state by state. That's what I think.
Where did this all set in? I love hearing different perspectives of how did we get to the point we're at?
Started with FDR mostly, the New Deal and the Great Depression. You can go back even before that to Morgan in 1917 with the panic that formed the Federal Reserve. Starts based on the money supply, so they control the money supply. Government starts to go after the New Deal. They create Social Security net, becomes a welfare state. And reasons why, but remember, it wasn't the New Deal that pulled us out of the Great Depression. It was World War II. It was the production. War is great for ending a depression, right? So it was the war that ended the depression, not the New Deal, okay? When you go to war, it's massive production and it gets everything going, right?
Yeah.
But again, this is before I wasn't alive when he was there, right? But that was when the government took on its modern shape and form with FDR and all these. Before that was a much smaller, leaner entity. And here's the fucking problem with the government. They can't administer anything. It's people. You put bureaucrats in charge of anything. Half the money goes wasted on bureaucrats, like the salaries and the bureaucracy. So it becomes an imperfect. It would be great if you could perfectly deliver all these systems. Listen, communism fails, never works. Socialism, you know why it doesn't work? 2 reasons. Number one, take away the profit mode. You have a bunch of fucking drunk people. Okay, like in Russia, they say, "I'll keep pretending to work if they keep pretending to pay me."
You ever been to Russia?
Of course, many times.
What do you think of Moscow?
Unbelievable, great, beautiful women, beautiful.
Let me tell you something. We're going next week.
Best ever.
I'm excited.
It's the best. Listen, and you know what? The Russian people are fucking awesome. This whole Russia thing drives me crazy. Russia's not a threat to us. China's a lot more of a threat.
That's what we're hearing.
Economically, China. I'll give China one thing. China attacks no one. They're a very peaceful.
Yeah.
They do economic takeovers. I've been around the world to every country pretty much. Every country in the world. You name it, I've been there, right? China is fucking everywhere.